So, does anyone remember the movie A Few Good Men? Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, courthouse drama. Well, the biggest part of the movie, and the part that everybody seems to remember, is when Tom Cruise was yelling, "I want the truth." And Jack Nicholson, with a real snarl in his face, goes, "You can't handle the truth." Well, I'm going to give you the truth about the WNBA. It's really not the WNBA, it's the alphabet NBA. Alphabet meaning LBGQT, whatever the numbers are, whatever the letters are. That's the WNBA. It's the LGBTQT league. Has been since the start. Mostly it's happens to be for black and white female lesbians. It's been the way the league has been. Now, the way it started out was every team had 12 players. The NBA gave each team $1 million for the players. Works out about $76,000 per player per year. That's why they're getting 76 grand. Divided $1 million by 12, there's your number. Now, and you got the coaches to pay for, the rest of the team to pay for, the trainers, what have you. Traditionally, the WNBA has been losing roughly $40 million a year. It's been the way it's been. They play in venues, 3,000 to 4,000 people. Nobody cares. You know, a few folks that show up, the drag queens show up, whatever. But that was their world. That was their fine and dandy world. They were happy with it. Well, then along comes this young lady. Her name is Caitlin Clark. She comes in the league last year, number one choice. Indianapolis gets her. She comes in and she's an ice princess. She's a star. She's a one of a kind. She's along the lines of maybe a Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, even a Pete Maravich, if you want to go back that far. She's one of those special kinds that changes the league. Kobe Bryant, any of those kind of folks. Steph Curry, I'll mention that one too. So a game changer. She comes in the first year of the league, trying to do things. She's popping things all over the place. Team comes in and actually makes it into the playoffs, surprisingly enough. Gets bounced out pretty easy. But the second year, they get a new coach. Bring in a coach by the name of Stephanie White. Well, Stephanie White's got her own issues going on. But Stephanie White decided to bring in the players that she wanted that would fit around Caitlin Clark for a team. Problem was, they weren't really fitting well with Caitlin Clark. She was getting along, but it wasn't quite right. And nothing was more obvious than when the folks that came along, Lexi Hall and Stephanie Cunningham. Those two ladies came along. You may have seen this. Stephanie Cunningham came out with this shirt. Have you seen the shirt? Tres leches. Now, that means 3 milks. But what color is milk? Milk is white. 3 white women in a league traditionally, predominantly black female lesbians. That's what it was, folks. Whether you like it or not, that's the truth. So you get these 3 ladies who, by the way, all are straight as near as I can understand. And but even Stephanie White apparently is, she's part of the LBGQT, whatever group they are. She's one of them, as they say. She was gone for a couple of games, whatever, had some personal to do. Apparently her girlfriend's mother or her wife's mother or whatever it is was sick and she was off. And another young lady on the team, I think her name was Dewana. She was playing and then suddenly she wasn't and they brought her in. She was supposed to be some 15-time All-Star, been around a long time. And suddenly she was disappeared. Wasn't playing, went for 6, 7 games, disappeared. Well, as it turns out, she said, "I don't want to play with this team anymore." Because she wanted to leave the team because her wife plays for the Phoenix Spark, or the Phoenix Mercury. Her wife plays for Phoenix Mercury, and she doesn't want to be in Indy. And the only reason she was Indy is because she was getting a $200,000 paycheck over the regular $76,000 they normally got. So ultimately, they put her out there to see if they could trade her. Couldn't find anybody. Put her on waivers, and she has now gone into the waiver wire. But here's something that came out today. Waiver wire's got a note on it that says, "Do not pick this player up because she only wants to play for Phoenix," which is where her wife is. All right. The problem with Phoenix is they want to put her on the squad with her wife. Then they have to cut somebody off the team because you're only allowed 12 players. Somebody gets cut. Now, Indianapolis loses Duana, and so they pick up another lady that had working with him on a 10-day hardship deal. Pretty good player. We'll see what happens on what she does. But here's the biggest news that you need to know. It was just announced that Caitlin Clark is injured again. This time it's a groin injury. Now, if a guy gets a groin injury, that could be out for a pretty long time. That's all I'm telling you. A woman, I'm not sure. They say maybe one game. She's scheduled for one game. She's supposed to be off against the LA Sparks. But apparently she got this injury when she was hurt in the game against Seattle. And she ended up falling or hitting herself, and you could tell something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. But Caitlin Clark recently has had a problem. At that Seattle game, she was 3 for 13 in the field. 3 for 13? And she was 0 for 6 at three-point line. She was hitting clankers. Something ain't right, folks. Something ain't right. And for the last 3 road games, she's been 1 for 23. Not good. Not good at all. So, what's going to happen? I'll tell you right now, the league has got some big problems because, let's be honest, there's people in the league that don't want Caitlin Clark in there because she's straight and she's white. Now she's got a couple of friends, Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, and they're the Tres Leches. So Caitlin Clark's going to be out, maybe for a game, maybe for more. We don't know. But I'll tell you what's happened with the WNBA. Suddenly, a lot of straight people got interested in the game. They went from 3,000-4,000 people in a tiny gymnasium to 17,000 to 20,000 in major stadiums. And it was families, it was moms, dads, it was kids, all standing out there to get autographs. So the straight people were invading a world that traditionally had been left to the gay folks. That's the truth. I may not like it, but that's exactly what's going on. It's unfortunate. Will it change? I don't know. Will Caitlin Clark and the young ladies coming in now, who majority of them tend to be straight, will they change things in the currently gay WNBA, or as we call it, the alphabet WNBA? I don't know. Unless they get things fixed, folks, it is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And if it gets worse, they're going to lose an audience. And that audience, they can't afford to lose.